Introducing the NutraPlanet News with Jasmine and Bradley.
Welcome to the NutraPlanet News, where we uncover the incredible stories behind the foods you eat every day. I'm Jasmine, and what if I told you there's a food that ancient sailors risked their lives crossing entire oceans to obtain? A food so valuable that one scientist discovered 118 different uses for it. From ink to glue to flour, a food that Olympic athletes swear by before competitions, and that NASA considered taking to Mars. You'd probably think we're talking about some rare, expensive superfood, but we're talking about something that costs less than $1 and might already be in your kitchen right now: sweet potatoes. Today, we're diving into why this root vegetable has sustained civilizations for 5,000 years. We'll meet George Washington Carver, the genius who turned sweet potatoes into everything from postage stamp glue to paint. We'll discover why different colored sweet potatoes give your body completely different superpowers. And we'll show you exactly why sweet potatoes deserve a permanent spot on your plate, not just at Thanksgiving. Plus, we're sharing some seriously delicious recipes that'll change how you think about cooking. Sweet potato pancakes, fries that actually make you feel energized instead of sluggish, and brownies so good you won't believe they're made with vegetables. But first, we need to tell you about the most unbelievable journey in food history: how ancient Polynesian navigators sailed thousands of miles across the Pacific Ocean with no GPS and no compass, just to bring sweet potatoes home. Because that story reveals exactly why this food is worth paying attention to. Let's go back 5,000 years. Imagine you're living in Peru around 3000 BC. There are no grocery stores, no refrigerators, no backup plan. Your family's survival depends entirely on what you can grow. And you've just discovered something that changes everything. A root that grows in poor soil, stores for months without rotting, and gives you more energy than almost anything else you can plant. That's how sweet potatoes entered human history. Ancient farmers in Peru and Ecuador were among the first humans to intentionally cultivate their own food instead of just hunting and gathering. And sweet potatoes became one of their most important crops because they solved real survival problems. But here's where this gets interesting. Fast forward a few thousand years. By the time European explorers arrived in the Americas in the 1490s, sweet potatoes weren't just growing in South America. They were also thriving on islands across the Pacific Ocean, places like Hawaii, New Zealand, and Easter Island. This confused scientists for decades. How did a South American crop reach Pacific Islands that are thousands of miles away, long before Europeans made those voyages? The answer came from studying the DNA of sweet potatoes in different regions. Scientists discovered that sweet potatoes in Polynesia match South American varieties, not Asian ones. The plants themselves proved that someone had carried them directly from South America to the Pacific Islands. But who and how?
Wait, so people were sailing across the Pacific Ocean before Columbus even crossed the Atlantic?
Exactly. Polynesian navigators were some of the most skilled sailors in human history. Starting around 1000 AD, they were making voyages that sound impossible even today. We're talking about sailing massive double-hulled canoes, each one the size of a small house, across thousands of miles of open ocean with no GPS, no compass, no weather forecasts, just knowledge passed down through generations. They navigated using stars, wave patterns, and even bird behavior. Certain seabirds only fly so far from land, so if you saw a specific species, you knew you were within a certain distance of an island. That journey alone would have taken weeks or months. They were sailing thousands of miles based purely on their knowledge of the ocean, betting their lives that they could find their home islands again.
That's insane. They thought sweet potatoes were valuable enough to risk that journey?
That's exactly what the evidence tells us. And it worked. Sweet potatoes became a staple food across Polynesia, helping sustain communities on islands where other crops struggled to grow. Now, here's something most people never notice. Sweet potatoes come in completely different colors. And those colors aren't random. They tell you exactly what nutritional benefits each variety offers. The orange sweet potatoes you see most often get their color from beta-carotene. Then you've got purple sweet potatoes. That deep purple comes from anthocyanins, the same compounds that make blueberries blue. White and yellow sweet potatoes are less common in the US, but extremely popular in Asia. They're drier, have a nutty flavor, and work beautifully when mashed or baked. In Japan, they roast them over hot stones and sell them as street food. When my family visited Tokyo, I tried one and the flavor was incredible. Naturally sweet but balanced, creamy but not heavy.
One quick note about terminology. In the US, people often say yams when they mean sweet potatoes. But real yams are a completely different plant from Africa and Asia. They have rough, bark-like skin, can grow up to 7 feet long, and are starchy rather than sweet. When your family says, "pass the yams" at Thanksgiving, they almost definitely mean sweet potatoes. The confusion started when American farmers wanted to distinguish between different sweet potato varieties and started calling the orange ones yams, even though they weren't. The name stuck, but botanically, they're completely different plants.
So, we've seen how sweet potatoes traveled the world and why different colors matter. But here's the question that actually affects your life. What happens inside your body when you eat one? Because understanding that changes everything about how you choose what to eat. Let's break down the science.
One medium sweet potato gives you over 400% of your daily vitamin A requirement. Yep, you heard me correct. One sweet potato covers 4 days' worth of vitamin A needs because your body stores the excess for later use. Vitamin A does 3 critical jobs. First, it keeps your vision working properly, especially in low light. When you walk from bright sunlight into a dark room and your eyes adjust, that's vitamin A enabling that adaptation. Without adequate vitamin A, your eyes can't adjust to darkness effectively. Second, vitamin A maintains the mucous membranes in your nose, throat, and lungs, your first defense barrier against germs. When those barriers are healthy, bacteria and viruses have a much harder time entering your body. Third, vitamin A supports immune system function by helping white blood cells operate at full capacity. Sweet potatoes also provide significant vitamin C, which helps heal cuts, forms collagen for healthy skin, and boosts immune response. When your body is fighting an infection, it burns through vitamin C quickly because your white blood cells need it to function effectively. Now let's talk about fiber. One medium sweet potato contains about 4 grams of fiber, which is roughly 15% of your daily requirement. That might not sound impressive, but here's why it matters. Fiber slows down how fast sugar enters your bloodstream.
Is that why I feel better after eating sweet potatoes versus eating something like chips or candy?
Exactly. When you eat refined carbs or sugar, your blood sugar spikes rapidly. Your pancreas releases insulin to handle it, then your blood sugar crashes. That crash is why you feel tired and unfocused an hour after eating candy. Sweet potatoes release glucose slowly and steadily, giving your brain a consistent fuel supply for hours. Sweet potatoes also contain more potassium per serving than bananas. Potassium helps your muscles and heart function properly and prevents cramping during physical activity. That's one reason athletes eat them before competitions. They need sustained energy plus electrolyte support. Manganese is another key nutrient in sweet potatoes. It's essential for bone health, wound healing, and metabolism. Your body uses manganese to process carbohydrates and convert them into usable energy. The key point? These nutrients work together. The vitamin C helps your body absorb iron. The fiber regulates how your body uses carbohydrates. Now let's talk about what this means for your actual life. I used to crash hard every afternoon around 2 p.m. Turns out I was eating foods that spiked my blood sugar at lunch, which caused an energy crash later. When I started eating sweet potatoes instead of white bread or regular pasta, that crash disappeared. I could focus through my afternoon classes without feeling like I needed a nap. Second benefit, immune support. During cold and flu season last year, my coach had our entire team eating more sweet potatoes. The vitamin A keeps your mucous membranes healthy, which makes it harder for germs to get into your body. The vitamin C helps your white blood cells fight off infections more effectively. Did we avoid getting sick entirely? No, but several of us noticed we got sick less often and recovered faster when we did catch something. Third, better recovery after exercise. The antioxidants in purple sweet potatoes specifically help reduce muscle inflammation. My sister runs cross-country, and her team started eating purple sweet potatoes after long runs. They noticed less soreness the next day and better performance during their next training session.
Does eating sweet potatoes automatically make you healthier and more athletic?
No, and that's important to understand. Your overall health depends on your complete diet, sleep, stress levels, and genetics. Sweet potatoes are one tool in your nutrition toolkit, not a magic solution. But they're a particularly effective tool because they deliver sustained energy, support immune function, and provide essential nutrients your body actually needs. Understanding the nutrition is valuable, but it doesn't matter if you don't know how to actually prepare them in ways that taste good. Let's fix that right now.
I used to think sweet potatoes only worked as that Thanksgiving side dish with marshmallows. Then my friend's mom made sweet potato pancakes for breakfast one morning, and I realized I'd been missing out on an entire world of possibilities. Let me give you 4 preparation methods that actually work and taste good. First, sweet potato pancakes. Mash cooked sweet potato and mix it into your regular pancake batter. About half a cup of mashed sweet potato per batch. The sweet potato adds natural sweetness, moisture, and that orange color. Top them with a little butter and maple syrup, and you've got a breakfast that keeps you full until lunch. My dad makes these every Sunday now, and they're genuinely better than regular pancakes. Second, sweet potato fries. Cut them into thin strips, toss with a small amount of olive oil and your choice of seasonings. Then bake at 425 degrees for about 25 minutes, flipping halfway through. For seasonings, you can go savory with paprika and garlic powder, or slightly sweet with cinnamon and a tiny pinch of brown sugar. The key is cutting them thin and spreading them out on the baking sheet so they get crispy instead of soggy. Third, sweet potato hash. Dice them small, cook them in a skillet with bell peppers and onions, season with paprika and garlic powder, and cook until everything's crispy. Top with a fried egg if you want protein. This works for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, and it keeps you full for hours because of the fiber and complex carbs. Fourth, sweet potato brownies. Mash cooked sweet potato and mix it with cocoa powder, eggs, a little flour, and honey or maple syrup. The sweet potato replaces most of the butter and sugar you'd normally use, so you get that rich, chocolatey taste with significantly more nutrition. The texture comes out dense and fudgy, and you'd never know there are vegetables hidden inside.
Those brownies actually work? That sounds suspicious.
I was skeptical too, but my mom made them last month, and even my younger brother, who refuses to eat vegetables, ate 3 of them. The sweet potato adds moisture and natural sweetness without making them taste like vegetables. When you're buying sweet potatoes at the store, look for ones that are firm, with smooth skin. Avoid any with soft spots, cracks, or sprouting eyes. Medium-sized ones tend to cook more evenly than really large ones, and store them in a cool, dark place, not the refrigerator. Cold temperatures mess with the texture and flavor. The point isn't that you need to make all of these recipes. The point is that sweet potatoes work in way more situations than most people realize. Once you start experimenting, you'll find your own favorites.
Before we wrap up, let's cover some facts that'll change how you see sweet potatoes. George Washington Carver, one of America's most important agricultural scientists, developed 118 different products from sweet potatoes. We're talking about flour, vinegar, postage stamp glue, molasses, ink, dyes, and paint. He did this to help southern farmers whose soil had been depleted by cotton farming. His work was so revolutionary that Thomas Edison asked him to work at his laboratory in New Jersey, but Carver chose to stay at Tuskegee University, where he taught for 47 years. Now, how about this one? The world's heaviest sweet potato weighed 95 pounds. Benny Mayer from Switzerland grew this massive tuber just a few weeks ago in October 2025, breaking a Guinness World Record that stood for over 2 decades. To put that in perspective, a typical sweet potato weighs less than a pound. This one was over 90 times larger. I bet you'll wish you had this on your Thanksgiving table. In Japan, a company created the world's largest sweet potato pie in 2018. It weighed over 700 pounds and measured more than 6 feet in diameter. After setting the record, they distributed the entire pie to visitors, giving hundreds of people a taste. And lastly, sweet potatoes aren't actually potatoes. Despite the name, they belong to the morning glory family, making them more closely related to morning glory flowers than to regular potatoes. Regular potatoes belong to the nightshade family, along with tomatoes and peppers. The name similarity is just confusion from early European explorers who called them both potato because they looked similar.
Here's what we covered today. Sweet potatoes have been sustaining humans for 5,000 years across dozens of cultures because they solve real problems. They grow in poor conditions, deliver serious nutrition, and taste good. Polynesian navigators risk their lives sailing thousands of miles just to bring them home because they recognize their value. You can prepare them in countless ways. Pancakes for breakfast, fries for lunch, hash for dinner, brownies for dessert. You can even grow your own with just a jar of water and a windowsill. But here's the real point. What you eat determines how you feel and perform. Not just today, but consistently over time. Every meal is a choice between fuel that works and fuel that doesn't. The next time you're deciding what to eat, remember that athletes, astronauts, and ancient civilizations chose sweet potatoes for good reasons. If it works for them, it'll work for you too. Your body is the only one you get. What you put into it matters. Sweet potatoes are one smart choice you can make, starting right now. Try one this week. See how you feel. That's how you figure out what works for your body. Thanks for watching NutraPlanet News. Now go eat something that fuels you. Maybe even a sweet potato. See you next time.
Sweet potato slices laying on my plate. Orange color glowing, that's my dinner date. Quarter section, that's the perfect portion. Keeping balance, that's my main caution. Green beans right beside it, looking clean. Creating art with every cuisine. Color coordination, that's my reputation. Healthy plate creation, that's my motivation. My plate got style, yeah. Everything positioned with a smile, yeah. Balance is the new luxury. Eating healthy, looking good on me. Lean protein taking up its space.